Hello, this is your Wednesday edition of InfoHub. Here are our top stories. There's a growing demand for local rice in Mexico. Guyana's oil wells ranked amongst the deepest and most complex. And acting top cop updates on piracy attacks in Suriname's waters. The details of these stories and much more after this. InfoHub begins with major news which was revealed today that a record amount of paddy has been exported to Mexico thus far, following initial high-level meetings which were brokered with First Vice President and Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu in 2015. The revelation was this morning made during a courtesy call to the Prime Minister from the Ambassador of Mexico, His Excellency Ivan Roberto Sierra, and his delegation. Gabriela Patram tells us more.
I was informed, and I am very happy to report, that Mexico, since last year, has bought 174,000 tons of paddy from Guyana. I want to give back that figure. 174,000 tons of Guyana paddy have been exported to Mexico. And for us, and for all rice farmers in Guyana, this has been a significant breakthrough in finding markets for our rice and for our paddy.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu also disclosed that Mexico will also start to import white rice from local producers. According to official statistics, from July to December 2017, more than 113,525 tons of Guyanese paddy were exported to the Latin American nation. From January to April 2018, more than 39,850 tons of paddy were exported to Mexico. As a result of the increase in trade levels, Mexico has become the largest individual destination for local paddy. This, Prime Minister Nagamutu pointed out, will bring greater benefits for local stakeholders.
Today I feel vindicated that it is possible that our farmers can have greater markets for their produce, particularly rice and paddy, and that the rice industry has a viable, profitable future in this country. And I want to personally thank the government and the business sector of Mexico, and to pay compliment to Ambassador Ivan Martinez for his leadership in spearheading this effort to improve the trade relationship between our two countries.
Prime Minister Nagamutu in 2015, whilst attending the Open Governance Global Summit in Mexico, met with the country's Agriculture Minister, Jose Calzada. During this meeting, commitments were made to fast-track access to markets for Guyana's rice. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
Guyana's offshore wells are amongst the deepest and most complex, and according to Rystad Energy, they are potentially the largest in this part of the world. More in this Paul McAdam report.
According to Rystad Energy, quote, "It is interesting to note that some of the deepest wells are to be drilled in Guyana and Colombia, two countries with fairly limited experience in drilling deep water wells. It is projected that most of the wells are to be concentrated within the northern offshore regions of South America. These drill sites will be undertaken by operators such as Anadarko, Exxon, Shell, and BHP, all of whom have good track records in drilling deep water exploration wells," the analyst stated. Rystad pointed out that the offshore area north of the South American continent was dominated by gas discoveries until Exxon had success in finding oil in the Leeds field of Guyana's Stabroek Block. It also shows the relative size of the discoveries in Guyana and is by far the largest oil discovery made in this part of the world. End of quote. The Liza Phase 1 development, which will bring first oil for Guyana, is located approximately 190 kilometers offshore in water depths of 1,500 to 1,900 meters. 4 drill centers are envisioned with 17 wells in total. 8 production wells, 6 water injection wells, and 3 gas injection wells. Oil production is projected to start by 2020. Rystad Energy is an online-based and information resource center providing data, tools, analytics, and consultancy services to energy industry clients. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
We now tell you that Police Commissioner Acting David Ramnarine said a lack of information prevented an earlier visit to Suriname following the recent pirate attacks off that country's shores. Here's that story.
I wouldn't use the word delay. The thing is, it had happened. And even in Suriname, the authorities hadn't much information immediately.
Yeah,
took a matter of days before they got down to a better understanding of the extent of what had transpired, notwithstanding the fact that the 4 victims had turned up at different times at the New Amsterdam police station there to report. And so, from a policing perspective, having been in contact with our counterparts in Suriname, I felt too that the weekend visit was now the opportune moment for us to go.
Meanwhile, Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan explained the visit to the neighboring country by himself and senior security officials yielded fruitful information.
The very first morning of our arrival, I met with about 25 members of the relatives of the victims. We then had a meeting on the Monday morning with Minister of Police and Justice, Minister of Defense, Minister of Agriculture, the Police Commissioner, and the Chief Detective, who was the person in charge of the investigations. And from that meeting, we got a more or less inside scoop as to what it is and how far it is that the investigations had gone.
The piracy attack, which took place off the Atlantic coast of Suriname on April 27, left 16 fishermen missing and feared dead. According to survivors, they were assaulted with machetes and forced to jump into the sea by the assailants, who are suspected to be Guyanese heritage. Some of the survivors also recounted that several victims had batteries tied to their legs. 3 bodies of the 16 missing fishermen were salvaged Wednesday last by the Coast Guard and members of the Maritime Police. 30 persons have been arrested, of which 12 are still in detention. Among them are 2 prime suspects. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Increasing awareness about trafficking in persons is the focus of a ministerial task force as part of efforts to combat this societal scourge. Stefan Gabriel has more to tell us.
Task Force Coordinator Oliver Prophet explained that the recently rejuvenated agency is focusing on internal and external awareness. This move, he believes, will play a critical role in an increased number of cases of trafficking in persons being identified and prosecuted.
Since 2016 December, the training subcommittee has now been increasing its capacity through the help of international organizations like Interpol and the International Organization for Migration and the United States Department of State. That would have helped us to build a cadre of trainers basically that can equip us to be able to relay this information to other stakeholders, especially those on the front line, to be able to combat the crime of trafficking in persons more effectively.
Prophet said since the task force restructuring in 2016, there has been more interagency cooperation and strengthening of agencies.
There's also been a lot of collaboration with international organizations, which led to training courses as well, and which led to some of the task force members being able to attend the regional training courses. So, and I mentioned some of the agencies before, Interpol, IOM, and the U.S. Department of State would have facilitated those training courses. So some were regional, and some were done right here in Guyana. One of them being one that was done for medical practitioners. So it's now basically expanding the amount of training we're able to provide, and obviously, as a result of that, expanding the amount of the knowledge base and the capacity basically to combat the crime.
According to the 2016 annual report of the Ministerial Task Force on Trafficking in Persons, there are 98 alleged victims of trafficking in persons. These stemmed from 38 reported cases versus 18 reported cases in 2014 and 15 respectively. These cases involved 55 alleged perpetrators, up from 32 in 2015 and 26 in 2014. For the period of 2014 to 2016, 176 females were allegedly trafficked compared to 21 males for the same period. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
The General Nursing Council Board was installed this morning. Zanil Williams informs us that 2,669 nurses have already been registered to date.
The 15-member board was inaugurated this morning by the Public Health Ministers Valda Lawrence and Dr. Karen Cummings. It was revealed that 2,669 registrants renewed their licenses for 2018. Minister Lawrence urged members to not only enforce rules and regulations, but to be innovative.
I ask that you be satisfied that each candidate satisfies the criteria and is fit and proper to be registered. Don't register any and every person. You analyze and be very careful that those persons meet the criteria. We are building, and as we build, and with your input, we're going to reach there, but we're not there now. And as you use the rules and the regulations that guide this council, I'm asking you to use your judgment and to act within the confines of the rules. I'm asking you to be professional.
The Council's chairperson and Chief Nursing Officer Acting, Linda Johnson, pledged her support and expressed excitement about her new role.
I'm fairly new, so I'm looking forward for your support so that we can have a vibrant nursing council that will represent the rights of the nurses and ensure that we have examinations and delivering of results in a timely manner and of course, authentic results.
The Nurses' Council is a semi-autonomous body. They do not fall under the purview of the Ministry of Public Health, but have 6 representatives appointed by government. The council comprises of 15 members, 6 nominated and 8 elected. The council also conducts 12 exams annually. 3 have already been completed. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation's pediatric ward today received a timely donation from the Demerara Lioness Club.
Pediatric Unit Manager Marissa Singh expressed her gratitude, noting that the Lions Club has been donating items to the ward for a number of years.
For a number of years, the pediatric unit have benefited greatly from the generous donations from the Lions Club. Items include things like water dispensers, microwave, PediaSure, Ensure, all to provide comfort for our patients, especially for the chemotherapy patients who are in hospital for a very long time. So we appreciate their generosity.
Demerara Lions Club President Kayan Moore explained that they recognize the needs of the pediatric unit.
There are lots of kids in here who are terminally ill. There are lots of parents who travel from far places to ensure that their children are receiving necessary medical care that is needed to improve their condition, basically. And, you know, we really see that there is a need here.
The club's president added that it was heartening to see the parents and children's reaction to the donations and promised to continue assisting the pediatric ward. Kimberly Ferrer for InfoHub.
Connect with us 24/7 on our website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp for more details as we bring you updates on developments across Guyana. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Daddy!